Hey everybody, my name is Brittany of BrittanyJJones.com. If you are new, welcome to the channel. I'm so happy to have you tuning in. I hope that you will like what you see and subscribe below for more. In today's video, I'll be doing a preview of our next sew along that I will be uploading on Friday. And the pattern that we're going to be sewing along to is Vogue 9008. This is a Mrs. Shorts pattern. I'm really excited about it. It's starting to get warm out here. And I would love to make a couple pairs of shorts, so I'm excited about this pattern. This pattern has different leg variations. So one view has a slim leg, the other has a wide. So one of them has carriers, pleats, a back yoke. One view has a button, the other has hook and eyes. So it's a lot of different options for this pattern. If you are just joining me and you don't know what my preview videos are, in these types of videos I like to really just go over the pattern details, show you all the sides that I'll be cutting, talk about the fabrics and the notions that I have purchased, and then I like to open up the envelope, go over the instructions to make sure there's nothing in there that will trip us up while we're sewing. So now let's go ahead and get into the preview. Okay, here's a closer look at the pattern. Again, we're going to be sewing Vogue 9008, and I'm going to be working on view E on this pattern. Up here at the top, you can see that I purchased the pattern in sizes 14 through 22. So now let's go ahead and flip on the back and read more about it. So the description says that it is a Mrs. Shorts pattern. The shorts, they hit below waist, they have a contour waistband, mock fly zipper, and button variations, and you can also purchase a belt to wear with them. View A, B, and C, they are semi-fitted through the hips. They have a button waistband and narrow hem. View D, E, and F, they are very loose fitting through the hip. They have the carriers, the front pleats, the back yoke, stitched hems, and those are the views that you can wear a belt with because those are the views with the carriers. So now let's go ahead and talk about the fabrics. Some of the fabrics they suggested is a silk dupani or dupiani, however you like to pronounce it, lightweight denim, linen, and poplin. So those are the fabrics that they have listed on the back. For my fabric, I'm going to be using this Liberty London fabric right here that I have from the fabric store online. I'll be sure to link it below if you are interested. So I'm going to be using this, and one reason I'm using it is because I want to make a super cute little outfit, and I'm going to make a top out of this one. So I just think this is super cute for like spring. So yeah, I'm really excited about this little outfit. So that's one reason, and also because this fabric is a twill, however, it is really lightweight. And I think it would work well for these shorts, especially since I'm out here in California. I don't want anything heavy coming into these warmer months. So I'm gonna go with this fabric, and again, it's super lightweight. This isn't heavy at all. So this is the fabric that I will be using. Okay, so we went over the description as well as the fabric. So now let's go down to the notions that we will need to purchase to make it. Again, I'm going to be going with view E. So for view E, I need one 7-inch zipper and 2 waistband hook and eyes. So I have those notions, but you will also need some fusible interfacing, so don't forget that. In the back of it says that we need lining. Now, when I saw lining, I was like, huh? So I did go ahead and I looked at the instructions, and the lining is for the pockets as well as the waistband facing. I'm going to use the same fabric. I don't have lining, so I will be cutting my pockets as well as my waistband facing out of the same fabric as my shorts. But if you want something different for your pockets and waistband facing, that is what that lining is for. So I just wanted to point that out in case you're like, wait, these pants are lined, these shorts are lined. So yeah, I went ahead and looked ahead in the pattern so I could let you all know what that lining was all about. So now that we have that covered, let's get into the supplies that I purchased and the everyday sewing supplies that we will need to make these shorts. So first I have my zipper, and my zipper is a 9-inch zipper. The pattern calls for a 7-inch one, so I will probably shorten mine down later once I get started sewing, but here's my zipper. Here's my hook and eyes. Make sure that you get the hook and eyes for pants or skirt waistbands. So I have my hook and eyes. I also have the interfacing that I will be using. This is just a lightweight fusible interfacing that I picked up from my local Joann's. So I do have that as well. And just some of the everyday sewing supplies that we need. I always like to keep a ruler close by in case I need to transfer darts or lines. I have that. I always remeasure. So I'm going to remeasure my waist and my hips to make sure I cut out the accurate size. This rotary cutter is for my fabric. This rotary cutter is for my patterns and paper. Have my seam gauge here, so I make sure I'm pressing up accurately. A point turner, because I do know that this is a waistband, so I'll probably want to point out the corner of that waistband as good as I can. Marking tool that I will be using for this project. Seam ripper, because it's my best friend. I have my snippers to cut the loose threads. I have my pins here, as well as my pattern weights and also my iron. So now that I went over all the notions and fabric that I'll be using for this pattern and the sewing supplies that we'll need, let's go ahead and open up the pattern to go over the instructions, because this is supposed to be an easy pattern, so let's just see if it really is. Before we get into the instructions, I do want to point out that the finished garment measurement for the hips is not listed on the back. You only have the length and the width variations of the legs and the side length from the waist. So whenever you don't see the finished garment measurements on the back of the pattern, always check with the front piece of your pattern to see if they have it marked on there. 9 times out of 10 they do. So I'm going to go ahead and first I'm going to go over the instructions, and then I will look on pattern piece number 1 to see if the measurements are there, and then I'll be able to tell you all what size I'll be cutting. Also, I want to show you what I meant as far as the lining pieces. Like I said, they're only for the waistband facing, it's for the pockets. So I will just be cutting out the waistband and the pockets out of my fashion fabric. So the instructions, they start off with view A, B, and C. I'm gonna go ahead and skip ahead to the view that I'll be making, which is view E, but I do want to show you that they do have steps here on how to shorten a zipper. So I will be shortening my zipper because it is a 9-inch and only needs 7-inch. So I just want to show you that they do have that here. So now I'm gonna flip over to shorts D, E, and F. So the first thing we will be doing is creating our pleats on the front by bringing those large circles together, basting and stitching those down, pressing the pleats toward the center. Then we will top stitch along the pleats, do the stay stitching for the back, pin on and sew on the yoke, and then top stitch the yoke right here. Okay, they have the tip listed down here as well for shortening the zipper for the other view. Then we will insert our zipper right here at step 7, stitch the inner leg seams together. On step 9, we'll be finishing off that center seam. And then we'll start working on our pocket with stitching them down, 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, finishing off the sides of the shorts, turn the pocket to the front along the seam line, top stitching the pocket, finishing sewing off the pocket, and then basting it toward the front. Then we can start working on the waistband, fusing those pieces together. Start working on the carriers here, sewing those, edge stitching along both sides, pin and stitching the carriers onto the shorts, and then sewing on the waistband. Then sewing our waistband facing onto the waistband, doing some understitching, a little bit of slip stitching here, finishing off the carriers, sewing on our hook and eye, and then doing our hem. So now let me open up the pattern pieces to see what size I will be cutting. And again, we need to look for pattern piece number 1. There it is. That was good. I thought I was gonna have to fish for it through all these pattern pieces. So now let me go ahead and see which size that I will be cutting based off of my hip measurement right now. So the finished garment measurement for size 14 is a 40.5. The finished garment measurement for 16 is a 42.5. For 18, it's a 44.5. For 20, it's a 46.5. For the 22, it's a 48.5. Wait a minute. This is not the front piece that I need to be cutting. Look at that. This is the front for A, B, and C. Always gotta make sure we're paying attention. Okay, so let me find the pattern piece. Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right, pattern piece number 5 is the front for D, E, and F. Okay, so the 14 is a 46, the 16 is a 48, the 18 is a 50, the 20 is a 52, and the 22 is a 54. So based off the finished garment measurements that they have right here for the hip, I will be cutting the size 18 for this pattern. So that's it for this video. I really do hope that you enjoyed it and found it helpful. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on those notifications so you do not miss when I upload this video on Friday. And I will see you all then. Blessings, everyone. Bye.